For this way here, using an elimination, what we have to do? First, the first step here, you have to subtract the two equations. This is for linear and the quadratic. So we have to subtract, like y, we have a y equal negative x plus 3 and y x squared plus 1. What we have to do here, the first step, let's subtract them. Subtract the first one from the second one, like this. Y minus y, 0, negative x. Now look here, we have an x plus 3 and x squared plus 1. As you remembered in chapter 8, if we want to subtract them, we have to arrange them like this. Here, x squared, here x plus 3, and here x squared plus 1. We have to put an x squared under each other, a negative x under each other, and the constant, or the x's under each other, the constant under each other. X squared under each other, the x under each other, and the constant under each other. Then after that here, after we arrange them, let's subtract. 0 minus x squared, I get negative x squared. Negative x plus 0, it will be negative 6. And 3 minus 1, let's see, as we told you, you have to subtract. So 3 minus 1 is positive 2. So I will subtract like this, nothing here, negative x plus 3. Down we have x squared plus 1. I need to subtract them. If I need to subtract them, what do I have to do? As we said, we can subtract them, or we can say it's a plus and change the signs. Then nothing minus x squared, it's negative x squared minus x, and 3 minus 1 is positive 2. So after I subtract them, I get this answer. Negative x squared minus x plus 2. Then after that now, after we subtract them, look at the coefficients of x squared here. It is a negative. Let's take this negative as a common factor. I want now to cancel the negative sign. So I have an x squared plus x minus 2. Take and the negative 1 as a common factor. What does it mean? That means I will change the sign for each term. So for the first one, it will be positive. For the second one, it will be positive. And for the last one, it will be negative. Equals 0. Now look at here. What did I have? I have an x squared plus x minus 2. So after I subtract them, I need now to what? I need now to factor them. I have now an equation, 0 equal something. So let's now factorize them here by x minus 2. Here I have minus sign with the positive, so x plus 2 and x minus 1. What does it mean? That means the two solutions here, I have two solutions at x equal negative 2 and at x equal 1. That means at point negative 2, this value of x, it can be worked on the linear and the quadratic equation, and at point 1, it can be worked also, it can be worked on the first and the second equation. That's it. Elimination, I will subtract them from each other. I will factorize them. After I factorize them, I found the two numbers. These two numbers will be the values of x that will be worked in the first and in the second equation.
Teacher, it will be always subtracting, and I cannot add.
Yes, here for elimination you have to subtract.
Okay.
Let's do another example, so it will be clear here. X squared and x plus 2. The first step, I have to subtract. As we said before, did you remember in chapter 8 when you want to subtract or add expressions? Here we have the sum. We have y equal x squared, and we have y equal x plus 2. As I told you, we have to subtract them. Subtract them, what we have to do? The first step, keep the first one as it is, then make a plus and change the sign of each term here. Y, it will be negative y. And x, it will be negative x. And positive 2, it will be negative 2. Okay? So subtract, make minus to be plus, and change the term of each, or we change the sign of each term for y, for x, and for positive 2. So y, it will be negative y, and x, it will be negative x, and 2, it will be negative 2. Then after that here, as we said before, did you remember when we said we have to arrange the tens under tens, ones under hundreds under hundreds? Here we have the same. We have now to arrange the y's under each other, the x squared under each other, the x under each other, and the constant under each other. Then y minus y is what? 0 equal x squared plus nothing.
X squared.
X squared. Nothing minus x.
Negative X.
And negative 2. Then I have this equation. After I subtract, what I have to do? Factorize. Yalla. X minus 2, x plus 1. As we know before, we have to look at pair of two numbers. If you multiply them, you get negative 2. If you add them, you get negative 1. Did you remember how here? I can choose negative 1 and 2, negative 2 and 1, and negative 1 and 2. Let's add them here. We get negative 1, and here we get 1. But I need a negative 1, so I will choose negative 2 and 1. Then after that, what does it mean? That means I have two values for x, 2 and negative 1. How I know this one? By using the 0 property that we said. If they are equal, after I factorize them, they are equal to 0. That means one of them will be 0. X minus 2, it could be 0, or x plus 1, it could be 0. Did you remember that?
Yes. Yes.
So x
Why
is
did
2
you have to make this?
and x is negative 1. To find the values of x and 1, the values of x. Now, after we factorize them, I didn't need to factorize them. I need to find the solution of x. That's this x, it work on the first one and on the second one.
Teacher, do you know what I make? I took negative 2 and positive 1. That's making this.
Yes.
But I'll solve it. Okay.
Okay. Look at them now. Ask me if you have any question before going or before solving another example.
No, teacher. There is no question.
Teacher. Thank you.
No question.
Teacher, there is no question. Thank you.
Teacher,
Yes.
here we make the greatest common factor, right?
Where?
Here, in the right of the table.
No, not the here. I wrote the factors of negative 2.
Yes. Oh,
That
for negative
I add them, I get negative 1.
Okay.
Now, by now, is this step clear?
Yes,
Yes,
miss.
Yes. Then I need now to find the values of y. Did you remember before that I found x? For x, I have to find y. And for the other x, I have to find the other y. So I have to find now the two coordinates of these equations. What does it mean? That's mean after I make this step here, I have now an x2 and x negative 1. Let's see. 2, negative 1. I need to find now the y's. How? Substitute in any equation. Which we found here that x is 2 and y is negative 1. I need now to substitute in the equation. Let's see now. Let's choose any one. What did you want to choose?
x squared. The equation
Yeah.
that have x squared.
So I will say now y equal x squared. If x is 2, يعني 2 squared, that's mean 4. And if x is negative 1, it's
Should
negative
be
1
Negative
squared, which is
yes
1. So these are the 2 points. When x is 2, y it will be 4. And when x is negative 1, y it will be 1. So Farah chose the first equation. Let's choose the second one. Did I get the same answer? Let's see. I told you this when I solved the two equations or system of equations. That's mean I found the two solutions that work on both of the equations. Let's choose the second one now. Yalla. Let's say 2 plus 2 equal 4. That's correct. The second one, negative 1 plus 2 equal
1.
also 1. That's correct. So as I told you, I must find the two values of x that works on both of the equations. If I solve the second one and I find that I didn't get the same answer, that's mean there's something wrong. So if I choose the first equation or the second equation, I must get the same answer. Is it clear?
Yes.
Right. Let's
Yes,
go now
miss.
back to this one here. I found x is negative 2 and 1. And x is 1. When x is negative 2, what is the value of y? Choose, as an example, the first equation. Okay, you will say y of negative 2 is negative 2 plus 3. Negative 2 plus 3 is 1. So the first coordinate here is negative 2 and 1. The second one, choose point. I want point 1. So you will say 1 and
2. 1 and 2. Wait, teacher. Negative 1 plus 2, it will be.
Miss,
Teacher, I have a
it's 1
question.
and 2.
When you replace any the
yes.
solution like
So place it here. Choose point 1. Negative 1 plus 3 is 2. Here, after we found x and y, we have to substitute on the equations to find y. I need to find the final answer as x and y. So I have negative 2 plus 3 is 1, and 1 plus sorry, and negative 1 plus 3 Here, sorry, here, I forgot something.
It will be teacher -2 times by negative, which will be positive.
So it is 2 plus 3, so it is 5. So negative 2, 5, and 1, 2. So the elimination way, subtract, factorize, find x, then find y. Subtract. The second way, you have to factorize. The third way, you have to find the x. The fourth way, you have to find y. So you will tell me that the two solutions for this two equations will be negative 2, 5 and 1, 2. Is it clear, miss?
Yes, teacher, it's easy. It's clear.
Yes, miss.
Fine. Let's solve another example here. Y is negative x minus 7, and the second one, x squared minus 4x minus 5. Now, the first step, I need to subtract y, negative x minus 7. The second one, x squared minus 4x minus 5. I wrote the two equations. After that, I have to subtract them. After I wrote them, subtract them. To subtract them, what I have to do? Write the first one as it is, which is 1y equal negative x which is negative x minus 7. The second one now, let's change the sign of each term. For y, it will be negative y. For x squared, it will be negative x squared. For negative 4x, it will be plus 4x. And for negative y, it will be positive y.
5.
Positive 5, sorry. Then, since I changed the sign, here I have to be put plus. Then after that, y minus y is 0. Nothing minus x squared is negative x squared. Negative x plus 4x is positive 3x. And negative 7 plus 5, negative 2. Here,
Yes.
but before I factorize, look at this, the coefficients of x squared.
It is -1, which
Negative
will be
1.
2.
It's negative 1, yes. What does it mean? That's mean to make it easy for me, let's take a negative 1 as a common factor. Yani that's mean let's cancel the negative sign. So you will say here 0 equal. Let's take negative 1 as a common factor. Now, as I told you, if I take a negative 1 as a common factor, I must change the sign of each term. So negative x squared, it will be x squared. And
Minus
positive 3x, it will be minus 3x. And negative 2, it will be positive 2. These are equals to 0. Then I will come back to the solving equation. I have 0 equals x squared minus 3x plus 2. What I have to do now? I have to factorize them. X minus 2, x minus 1. Is it right?
It's -2 and plus 1. 2 and 1.
Negative 2 times negative 1 is positive 2. And negative 2 plus negative 1 is negative 3.
Yes, yes.
Okay? And after that, after I factorize, how many values for x I have?
2.
I have 2
Values.
values. 2
2 values.
and 1. For these 2 and 1, I need to find y because the solution is coordinate, not x and y, x. You have to find the first coordinate and the second coordinate. For the first one, I have 2. The first point is 2. Now, Huda, I need to find y. What I have to do? Yes, Huda, if I need to find y for an x equal 2, if I need to find y, what I have to do? Yes, Huda.
Yeah, miss.
Ah, yes. If x is 2, how can I find y? Basma.
Yes, teacher. We have to substitute in the first
Thank you.
equation.
Okay, Huda, you have to substitute in the first equation or the second equation. Anyone you want. So you will say negative. Yes, Basma, continue. Negative 2.
Yes, teacher.
Negative 2 here.
But
Minus
plus 2.
7.
Minus 7. Minus 7.
Yes, which is negative 9.
9.
So the first coordinate is 2, negative 9. Fine. The second one, at x1, what I have to do? Let's choose
Teacher, Huda is saying in the chat, يعني, are you hearing her?
but her
English هذا.
microphone is not working. How can I hear her?
Yes,
Type.
I guess
Maybe.
maybe.
Judy. Jude.
Yes, teacher.
Yes, Jude. Here, if x1, how you'll find y?
If x is 1,
Yes.
we will substitute.
Thank you. So you'll say negative. Sorry, Jude. So we'll say negative 1 minus 7, which is
Negative.
negative. Thank you. So the two value, the value here is 1, negative 8. So the two coordinates here for this system of equations are 2, negative 9, 1, negative 8. Is it easy?
Yes.
Yes, miss.
Yes, teacher.
Yes, teacher.
Yes. Miss, is my voice clear?
Now, since opening day, attendance at Pool A has increased steadily, while attendance at Pool B first rose and then fell. Equations modeling the daily attendance Y at each pool are shown below, where X is the number of days since opening day. On what day or days was the attendance at the same at both pools? What was the attendance? Here now, you have two pools, A and B. Equation, after they put a data and put the equation, they found that the numbers of the attendance in pool A are increased in linear equation, like 28x plus 4. And at pool B, they have to like rose and fell, and it's have to be an quadratic equation, negative x squared plus 39x plus 64. There's one day, at this day, the number for the pool, for the attendance of A will be the same in B. How I know in which day? By solving this system of equation. I have 28x plus y plus 4, and I have y is 28x plus 4, and I have y negative x squared plus 39x plus 64. Then, after that, I need to subtract them. What does it mean? I put a subtract here, then let's change them. I have y equal 28x plus 4, and then I will put the plus sign, and then after that, instead of after I put plus sign, I need to change the sign of each term. I get negative y, then negative here. I have to write them or to arrange them, sorry, in orders. So here I have 28x plus 4, and here I have x squared, then positive 39, it will be negative 39x, negative 64. Then let's subtract them now. Y minus y, 0. 0 minus x squared is negative, sorry, here positive x squared, because I have to add x squared. Here positive 28 minus 39 is negative 11x minus 60 equal 0. Then after that, let's now, what I have to do?
Teacher, this is the question, or like
This is
under the
problem 2, but I
yes.
solved equations, then I come back to it. So
Okay.
then here, after I have this equation, what I have to do?
Change the signs.
Why? No, here x is positive. No, there's no need to change it. What I have to do? After subtraction, what I have to
factor?
factorize. Thank you. Now I need the two factors that I have, multiply them, and I get negative 60. And if I add them, I get negative 11. What have to be?
Like then we have to check 12 and 5.
12 and 5. But if you add them or subtract them, you will get negative 11. This is no. Another one.
We have 20 and 30, it cannot give us. And we have 15.
15 and 4. Thank you.
4.
Yes. Negative
Give us
15
11.
plus 4.
Will be negative 11.
So I have x minus 15 and x plus 4. X minus 15 times x plus 4 equals 0. So what are the values of x here?
Positive 15, negative 4.
Positive 15, negative 4. Okay. Now, this x is which day? Yeah, I mean at days after 15 days or after negative 4 days. Before I continue to find what was the attendance, is there an day that's negative 4? Is there a day could
No,
be negative?
No.
No, because the pools cannot open on the day of number negative 4, but it can be open after 15 days or on day 15. So here I will say I will not use this number. Why? Because I'm talking about day. And I cannot say that the day the pool open at negative 4 day. So now here I have this 15 here. I need to find y. This y is the number of attendance. That will be the same in pool A and pool Y. Pool B, sorry. Choose any equation you want. Choose number A.
Pool A.
You will say 28 times 15 plus 4. Let's multiply 28 times 15. 5 times 8 is 40. 5 times 2, 10, plus 1, 14. Plus 1 times 8, 8. 1 times 2, 2. 0, 2, 4. So it is 420. Plus 4, they are 424. So at day 15, in both pools A and B, the number of attendants are 424.
Yes.
Is it clear?
Yes,
Yes.
Okay. Now let's talk about substitution. In substitution one here, we have to substitute the first y on the second y. Write them as y equal x squared minus 6x plus 10. And the second one I have 4 minus x. This is the first step. Or before starting, this is the first one. Now, here I have like two balances. The first y here is x squared minus 6x plus 10. And the second y here, they are 4 minus x. So instead of writing this y here, and I mean since in y equal x squared minus 6x plus 10 and y also is 4 minus x, so I will put this 4 minus x here. Okay, if x is, if 5 is 2 plus 3 and 5 is 1 plus 4, I will substitute now instead of 5 here with 1 plus 4. So 2 plus 3 is equal 1 plus 4. Is it correct? Did you remember I told you if A is equal B and B, or if A is equal B and A is equal C, so I will say that B equals C. Did you remember this? Or did you remember that?
Yes.
If A is B and A equals C, so B equals C.
Yes.
Here
Yes,
we have
teacher.
this is A, this is B.
But miss,
And if this is
Here.
A and this is C, so that's mean x squared minus 6x plus 10 equal 4 minus x.
miss, I have a question.
Yes, Huda. I saw the microphone
Here.
is working now.
Yeah, I don't know, maybe now because it was not from the internet connection.
Okay. Oh.
Here, 2 plus 3 equal 5, but what?
But
I
1
mean,
plus 4
2 plus
equal
2.
5.
Yeah, but here it was written 2 plus 2.
No, it's 2 plus 3.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So
Teacher,
here, as
yes.
I told you, if A is B and A is C, so that's mean B equals C. So I will
Okay.
write an x squared minus 6x plus 10 on side, and on the other side, I will write 4 minus x. That's why we call them substitution. I will substitute the other y, this y here, with the second equation. Is it clear?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
After that, I now want to write them in the standard form, or I need to subtract this one. I have to bring them here. And I need to subtract or to move this 4 minus x to the other side to make them a one equation. Okay?
Teacher, why you wrote it 2 times? Negative, this one, negative 4 minus x equal.
لا مش
Oh, minus,
without
minus, yes.
equal. Here just I need to move them on the second side. Then 4 minus x minus 4 minus x, it will be 0. Then here I have an x squared minus 6x plus 10 minus 4 minus x. Here I have to enter the negative sign in both terms. So it will be negative 4 plus x, because negative times 4 is negative 4 and negative times negative x is positive x. Then using the distributive property, you multiply negative 1 times 4, it will be negative 4, and negative 1 times negative x, it will be positive x. Then after that, let's now rearrange them. X squared negative 6x plus x is negative 5x plus 10 minus 4
6,
is 6 equals 0.
0.
Then after that, after I finish this step, I need to factorize them. It will be x plus 6, x minus 6, and x plus 1. These are now the two solutions. X is 6 and x is negative 1. Make them equal 0. So you have x is 6 and x is negative 1. At point x, at point 6, you have 4 minus 6 is negative